Right, hey guys. Today I want to talk about Marvel's Daredevil. This show came out starting off in 2015, and I think a little bit earlier. I think I'm looking at a later photo, but it went on for quite a while. The first show, okay, it was April 2015, and it went on until 2018, which was a good 3 years, a solid 3 years, and I do believe this is still the best Marvel TV series thus far. And there were a lot of other TV series that came along the way. Inhumans, which we don't really talk about. Agent Carter, which I never watched. Agents of Shield, which I watched like the first two seasons of, but it really got too boring for me. And then there's Jessica Jones, which was okay the first season. I haven't watched the second one. Luke Cage was nice. His whole entire feud with Mariah Dillard, and then Bushmaster coming in, looking for Mariah Stokes. Jessica Jones and the Purple Man was also cool. I think that was like season two, was it? I can't really remember, but I don't think I watched season two to the end. Iron Fist was also really cool. I think Iron Fist is a little bit more action-packed and more fun among Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Defenders, of course, is amazing because it brings all the Defenders together, and it's like a must-watch TV series. The Punisher was also nice, a little bit slower than when the Punisher showed up in Daredevil season two, but nonetheless, the Punisher TV series was also like in its own right, it was okay. It actually answered a lot of these questions about his family, and it varies a little bit from the comics. Where in the comics, his family, I believe, was killed in some sort of a picnic in like a park. Whereas in this one, they killed at like a carousel or something. So there are some variations, but regardless, John Bernthal did a fantastic job as Punisher. And then there was Runaways, which I think I watched a little bit, but it didn't really like hit any right notes for me. Cloak and Dagger, I watched the first season, it was okay, but they really need to do something more than just pull out a drama. And I never watched Hellstrom. So out of all of these, from the ones that are generally out there, I do believe Daredevil, like from the very first episode, it really keeps you hooked. It always has something interesting, and it really ends with good cliffhangers that don't make you think like they are actually like like cock blocking you. They're not really doing that because they just want to show you that there is so much more to the story, and the next episode does deliver. It doesn't just build a cliffhanger to nothing. It's not like what MCU does with their films, where they build up Thor in Thor Ragnarok to say he's not the god of hammers, but then force him to look for an axe in Infinity War, and then tell him that now he is in his ultimate form to defeat Thanos, and then he becomes fat after that, giving up all his. So those kinds of character developments are really bad. They did the same thing for Loki in Loki's TV series, where they absolutely ruined the character of Loki, which is built up over such a long time, and they reset him basically in the Loki TV series, only to build him back up to the same good Loki, or sort of good Loki, he is in the very first episode, and then have that same Loki carry forward with no character development over 6 episodes. Nothing. The Loki from episode 1 of Loki is the same Loki all the way to episode 6. There is no character development whatsoever that is valuable to him to the rest of the story. And I think that's pretty like obvious that they've given up creating useful plot lines for him. They throw away years of character development that occurs in the original Avengers series, and they create a new series to just tell people that we're just going to do this all over again because this is what's working, and we don't know where to take the character from, from here on. And WandaVision, I believe, was the only thing that actually showed somewhat unique character development, where Wanda is no longer the person that was shy and petite and likes to be good. She actually went all out to be a complete psychopath and really took over an entire village. And towards the end of WandaVision, I believe she's more of a villain than a hero. And we may see that in Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness, where he may actually be putting up against Wanda, against the Scarlet Witch, to try to stop her. So that might be really interesting if that is the case. However, if they reset her story and her character development and all that, I'm going to be so annoyed with what they're going to do again. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was also not bad. It did show a lot of drama, a lot of boring plot points that didn't really need to happen. Like there was no real effort in that. However, there were moments where the Falcon, especially not the Winter Soldier so much, Bucky is still the same he was from the start to the end, but Sam as the Falcon, he really developed as a character and really took up the mantle of Captain America. And I like this Captain America. It really shows a guy who felt he was not worthy, but he was believed to be chosen by the original Captain America, and eventually steps up to the mantle because he can do the right thing, and he's not even a super soldier. So I really like that entire point of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I believe Loki was the worst. Loki was truly the worst because even the old Loki that was shown in the show of Loki is like a better Loki than the one that we get to see, and he doesn't teach Loki anything useful. He doesn't teach Loki how to develop his powers, and Loki doesn't learn anything. And there's really nothing these series carry, like the weight that they carry is nothing compared to what Daredevil did. Daredevil took an original character, walked him through two seasons of character development, and then made him the leader of the Defenders, and then brought him back for a third season to give him some sort of a conclusion against a superior villain, which was Bullseye, and also when he was struggling with his hearing and all of that. And it also had a lot of other side characters who had their own character development. Like Wilson Fisk as the Kingpin was clearly shown to be not just muscle and the guy who can make calls. He was also shown to be quite an introspective character where he is sort of a real introvert. He's lonely because he has to go through all of these thoughts of how he wants to achieve his goals, that he can't really trust anyone. And so the only person who he learns to trust is Vanessa, and he cherishes her so much because he really can kind of keep all of his thoughts and emotions bided in her. And it really shows that deep down he's just a person just like us, just trying to survive and do what he believes is right. And that really shows you his highlight as a character. And in Infinity War they try to build Thanos up in the same way, except that in Endgame, they didn't really give Thanos the same impact that they gave in Infinity War. Because in Infinity War, he said that Titan prospered. Oh, sorry, Titan would have prospered if he had halved all of life. And in Gamora's planet, he actually killed half of the population, and Gamora's planet apparently flourished. But they didn't show that in Endgame, where the Earth looks still in ruins. Nothing has flourished. They should have instead shown that Thanos was somewhat right. Maybe people should have died, and those kinds of things. Whereas in Daredevil, they actually show that without Wilson Fisk, a lot of things are off balance. Without the Kingpin, a lot of things fall off balance, and new gangs try to take over New York. And there is an impact in him just taking out a supervillain. There is like a lot more to a lot more value than just putting him in jail and thinking everything is going to be fine. There's actually going to be problems and issues and side effects of keeping him in prison. And even in prison, he gains power in some way. So Daredevil, I feel, really covered a lot of characters. Even Foggy. Foggy as a character in the first season is completely different in the third season. He has gone through so much, he has learned so much, and we see him using that valuable knowledge that he has got, and especially joining up with the new law firm and learning from the new law firm, and also helping out other superheroes like Luke Cage out of prison. And I believe he even meets up with a lot of other important characters like Misty and so on and so forth. So you not only get a lot of character development, an amazing story, but the action in this is so believable. The fight scenes that Daredevil puts out is just so well coordinated. It's really believable, and of course if you watch it like a dozen times, you can realize that there's a lot of mistakes here and there. But trust me, the first two times you watch this, it's totally rewatchable, like the second and third time, and it's so amazing. And these fight scenes are so down to earth and so well made. They don't need such the heavy CGI that a lot of other TV series are coming up with nowadays. They don't need any of that intense graphic to make it believable, because the character is just shown to be so down to earth and the action is made so simple. And you really care for these characters because they come up with such amazing dialogues. This scene between Daredevil and the Punisher on the rooftop, the dialogues that they had, you're just one bad day away from being me. You hit them, you put them down and they get back up. I put them down and they stay down. All these things really make you think and make you question, whose side are you really on? Are you the Daredevil or are you the Punisher? Or are you Wilson Fisk? Because there's so many places that we could be in this world trying to do good, that we may take it to extremes in ways that we can't really imagine. And on the other hand, there's Foggy Nelson, truly the white knight of this story, if you ask me, because he's just trying to do good by being a normal person and not being a vigilante, not breaking the law in any way, trying to stick by the law. And then there's Karen Page, who's just nuts. She's willing to do whatever extremes she can, being a normal person, but still trying to use the law to her advantage. And then, of course, we got Elektra, I believe the perfect Elektra that we've ever seen on TV so far. And she is truly evil. She's truly nuts. She really is believable as Elektra, and she's an amazing close quarter combatant. We can see that in a lot of fight scenes. So yeah, I do believe that Daredevil remains to be the best TV series up to today that Marvel has released, and it definitely can challenge the likes of all of the ones that have been released before, and it is still much better and definitely worth a rewatch if you haven't seen it after a long time. And if you've never watched it, oh my god, please do. The first two seasons, especially Daredevil season 1, 2, and The Defenders, are a must watch for me. You can, however, skip Daredevil season 3 because it gets a little bit boring, but it is still a nice conclusion to the character. So if you want a more emotional ending for him, Daredevil season 3 would be just right. So yeah, that's it from me. Just wanted to share my thoughts with you because I know I've watched almost all of these. Everything under here I've watched. And then I watched all the recent ones, which are WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Loki. And in comparison to this lot, and Cloak and Dagger season 1, Agents of Shield season 1, 2, Inhumans, which I don't ever want to watch again. I think among all of these, Daredevil still remains to be king, and I can't wait to see what they have, coming next. Because there's obviously a lot of interesting ones like Moon Knight, She-Hulk. These will be original characters, or rather, brand new characters which I've not seen on screen. So they might have a better chance compared to the ones that we've already seen. Because we expect certain things of these people, like WandaVision, we expected certain things of them. And the story was horrible, by the way. The idea was there, but Vision doing all of his research only to be thrown off by the fact that Agatha is the one that's going to be coming as the final villain. There's no reason for Vision to be challenging Wanda because they just get distracted by a whole other villain that shows up in one episode. And also Quicksilver having no point in the story whatsoever. And also in Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky doesn't really do much. It's all about Falcon. So it should just be called The Falcon featuring the Winter Soldier because it's not really about the Winter Soldier. He doesn't really change as much as a character. He doesn't really get any redemption or anything like that. And Loki was the worst of the three. So yeah, just this is still the best. All right, see you guys.